Don't mind me, I'm just sitting here dancing. Don't mind me, I'm dancing, waiting for Jage. Jage. What's up, everybody? It's waiting for JJ. I'm the one who's late, by the way, not JJ. Of course, who else would be late? Myself. I'm tired. So chillax. Yep, there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, the one, the only, the double J, who is obviously very hot over there in the Pacific Northwest.
Sun's out, guns out. So that's what you got.
Body Slam video game news. To the SideQuest, your weekly, sometimes more than once a week, journey into the wonderful world of video games, video game culture, the geeks, the fun, everything else. I'm one of your hosts, Demowski. Joining me, this person right there, JJ Holder. Maybe just us two, very tired gents for various reasons. But JJ, how are you, man?
Oh, I'm doing. I mean, you nailed it when you said it was hot. But
yeah,
other than that, I'm fine. I'm doing all right.
yeah, yep. I hear you. Oops, of course I hit the wrong thing. Delete this post. Just mind us. Don't mind us. We're just kind of doing stuff in the background as we're trying to figure out everything that we're doing here. So let's do this.
I may drop for a second. I need to do something with my network here. So just
it's fine. I'm here. Don't mind me. This is the stuff that's happening in the background. I'm trying to get the post out to let people know where you can watch us, because I'm just late as usual. I'm just late. I'm late and tired. That's really what it is. I'm tired because I was at Summer Game Fest. So look at that. JJ he hath frozen. Let me kick JJ here. I'm gonna remove him. There we go. And as soon as he gets back, he can be re-added to the show. I'm gonna have to go show comments on stage. There we are. Both show up. Cool. Yeah, just chilling, waiting for stuff and for things. Man, it's the post Summer Game Fest edition. Let me go over something I can do is go over the there we go. Get that set up. Hold on a second here. Go over the wonderful Patreon members. Thank you again. Because as I found out, Google is raising the prices yet again, specifically because they think that everybody wants AI. And they said in order to provide, there we go. Google said in order to provide AI to you guys, we have to raise the prices. And I'm like, I don't want you guys to raise the prices. Anyways, this is for like emails and stuff like that we get done through Google. So yeah, thank you everybody who does help us through the Patreon. Thank you to the executive level, Punkdified, who I hung out with extensively this past weekend at Summer Game Fest. Had many a good times with the lad. Also, thank you to by the at Punkdified, PUNKDEFIED, just stellar dude. Thank you to our producers, Stefan Swanlin, Zero the Prototype, Exaginous, and Jeff Grubb. Y'all are awesome. It's you. It was so good to hang out with you, my brother. We had a blast out there. We caused quite a bit of trouble, had quite a bit of drinkage, and there was karaoke, which I didn't go to, but Punkdified went to, and apparently it was quite a uproarious evening.
Coward.
Yeah, coward. I was too busy hanging with people. Fans of the show, like I don't know, Adam Cole, fan of the show, noted wrestler.
Oh yeah,
you may know him. Yeah. I don't know. Actually, it was really funny. I hung out with a lot of folks. Got to meet folks across the industry. By the way, I mentioned Jeff Grubb as one of our producer levels. Thank you to Jeff for mentioning us on the Giant Bombcast during a segment on independent outlets and things like that. So that was really cool. Yeah, I've already had like 2 people message me that wanna get their stuff out here. So yeah, we are a very awesome, welcoming group of folks, and we're a community and helping people find their way into the gaming industry. Met a lot of folks, like I said. There's almost too many to name on here, but there's definitely a lot. But yeah, I mentioned Adam Cole, by the way, who is a we didn't talk wrestling with Adam Cole. Talked strictly about gaming because he was so happy, just like us, who have, they have whatever our full-time jobs are. Folks in other industries also have full-time gigs, and so gaming is their side quest, their outlet. So I was explaining to him and several other folks that we were talking about just gaming being our side quest. We excuse me, we are having fun with games because we need to get away from work. So it was good conversations with several folks. And it was just a lot of fun. It was just a fun evening. I'm definitely gonna talk about what I can talk about right now. I'm under embargo for a lot of things, but we're gonna talk a little bit about the news. And yeah, the next episode we do, I'll have a much more of a list of the folks that I got to hang out with that I can remember. Because I am very tired right now.
This isn't a normal episode.
It's not.
It's a special boy.
It's a special. I landed. I left there at 10. I think it was like 10:15. Let me rephrase it. My flight was supposed to leave at 10:15. It was delayed to 10:55 p.m. And sleeping on a red eye is just horrible because you can't really fall. It's difficult for me to actually fall asleep on a plane. I think I maybe got like 2 hours, 2.5 hours total. I was trying for the 4-hour flight or 5-hour flight, whatever it was. I was trying to get something in, but you do your best.
It's different. Like my Boston trips, when I do that, I take
you do that.
To Boston, but it's kind of a different beast when you're going to somewhere. It's like I can just power through it. I'm gonna get a couple hours of sleep on the plane. I'm gonna touch down. I'm gonna immediately get an energy drink. I'm gonna go to the hotel. I'm gonna flop down for a minute because it's gonna take you guys. I'm always the first one there. You guys always come throughout the day. And like on the flight back, I can't. It's like you can't do that on the way back, man. It's you're expected. The society expects.
Oh no,
you 100%.
Dude, I went right to work as well. So very tired. I got home. In fact, luckily enough, I was able to leave the office at like noon or something. Had to go to Supplier for some stuff. Got home, got some meetings, and then I tell you. I pulled a full 8+ hour day. Boy, when that clock went to like 8 hours, when I hit that point, the couch was calling. I slept for like a hard hour and 45 minutes on the couch. Just awesome naps. Naps during the daytime are fantastic. In those red eye flights, man, going from west to east, they screw me up. Going from east to west as well. When I've flown to Japan a few times is never, you're kind of screwed timing wise. But let's talk about some stuff. I again mentioned all those folks. Thank you, everybody. Went to Summer Game Fest, and I debuted, both Punctified and I debuted our new shirt. It's funny. I was initially there was a chance I was going to be on the Giant Bomb at Night couch. Just couldn't work out the scheduling. Plus, it ended up being where I was so swamped with writing previews, and some of my meetings actually got out later than they were going to, so I wasn't going to be able to make it until like super late. And so I'm kind of glad I didn't. It would have been a long drive and extra tired and more work, but excuse me, a lot of coughing today. I was going to debut our new shirt because this is our new top tier Patreon shirt for the producer. So when you become a producer, I'm going to maybe once a year, I don't know when, we'll figure it out, get a cool shirt. This is the first shirt, and we're going to have this available in the SideQuesting shop. So there we go, because we love indies. Check it out. Very nice, not evil shirt. Indies, 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 and the letters spelled, highlight the one spelled indies. So we're big fans of indies. I actually met a few folks from our Discord there, and we were talking about how, we approach, man, this sore throat. I'll be muting myself, trust me. We approach talking about indies, not just posting a news bite, but getting a little bit more of the human interest side of things. Stefan's done a couple pieces. He's got another one coming up.
Yeah,
We're looking at things from a different way. We got some JJ and I. JJ had a cool idea, and I'm all in for it. So yeah. So we're all in on the indies in kind of unique, fun ways. So that's what that shirt is all about. Again, very cool. It'll be up probably this week in the updated SideQuesting shop, so you guys can get that and help support us on the Patreon, because that would be awesome. But yeah, so fun time. Got to do that. Summer Game Fest was a blast. We'll talk about that first, just so I can get that out of the way. Just a couple of the quick topics. I know we're going to be having, a couple other shows as well, and a couple of things that I played, and then we'll talk about the Switch too. That'll kind of be our review thing as well. Excuse me. And so Summer Game Fest, a lot happened over the last few days. We did not get a Nintendo Direct, but we got a video, and we got two announcements from Nintendo over the last few days. We got Zelda movie being delayed by 2 months. No big deal.
Yeah. That's Hollywood, baby. I mean, that's just a standard
That's Hollywood,
thing.
Yeah. That's not Nintendo, especially. That's Hollywood. And then we got Splatoon. Nintendo announced a Splatoon spinoff, which lit me up. I was so excited about that. But that was kind of quick stuff. Summer Game Fest, actual proper stuff. You guys were watching the stream. I noticed in the Discord you were talking about that. There was the Xbox stuff you guys were chatting. Just overall, I want to get your impression about just the overall, few days of announcements and everything from the majors or the indies. What you thought? I mean, what? Give me your just sense of vibe at first. Like, what was your vibe?
For me personally, I outside of the main show, like even the Sony thing, I wasn't really like entirely like in tune with it. Like,
sure,
yeah, they're going on. These things are going on in the middle of the afternoon on a work day. Like, I can only be so connected to it.
Right.
But I popped my headphones in and I listened.
Okay.
I mean, I always like a good crowd pop kind of thing. So
sure.
that the actual Summer Games Fest sizzle reel, I don't know what he actually calls that presentation. Is that just Summer Games Fest? What is that presentation
just
called?
Summer Game Fest. Yeah.
Okay, I just didn't know if it had a special name that I keep missing, but no, that was fun just because I like audience reactions.
The sizzle reel, it's funny. Yeah, same here.
Yeah. It's fun, but I mean it's weird because it doesn't have like, especially like a confident Nintendo can put on like one hell of a direct, and it actually has like, you can see it has like a certain level of pacing, and it's like they know when, like, we're going to put something at the beginning, we're going to have some fun things, we're going to put some stuff in the middle, we're going to have some other stuff, maybe not even interesting stuff, but just stuff that deserves an announcement or whatever, and then we finish with a pop. Like Summer Games Fest doesn't really flow that way. It really is like, it very clearly had the biggest thing, the thing that popped me the most was the setup and delivery of the Resident Evil 9 announcement.
Yes, loved it.
That was chef's kiss. Perfect. To end that whole like middle birthday thing with like, it's just a blink away. It's like, yes, it was.
You're like, well, it's funny because as soon as they said that, I turned to Punctified was sitting next to me and a couple other folks on the other side, and I'm like, they're gonna announce it today. It's gonna happen today. This is a tease, which was great. That was the vibe. It was perfect.
That was good. That was my favorite part of the show. I'm a big Resident Evil fan, so I was excited to see what the next mainline non-remake, non-spin-off Resident Evil ends up being. So that was my favorite part of that whole exchange. That looks
maybe
exciting.
You'll hear more about that tomorrow or the next day from someone. I don't know who.
I'm sure some jackass got to see it. But that was fun. I can't really think of the Xbox thing. I didn't really care for that much. It didn't. I felt nothing. Like, there wasn't anything terrible, but it just like whatever.
Sure.
I don't even remember. You're gonna have to walk me through because I've completely forgotten about like the Sony one, which was the other big one.
Yeah, I did too. Okay, let me bring that up because
Yeah.
we'll just surf through SideQuesting.com with food in my mouth.
Yeah.
Go all the way back to Sony.
SideQuesting.com. It's a website.
Y'all can check it out. Okay. Right here, share screen. And if I could figure out how to do that, share the screen. Come on. Here we go. Luminous Arise. Luminous Arise was revealed.
Oh hell
Which
yeah!
I know you're a
That was
Luminous guy.
that was not only that, but it's Luminous and it's like that studio. Like Tetris Effect was such a
Enhanced is
perfect
awesome.
Tetris game. Enhanced does such a good job, and to have this just be Tetris Effect but for Luminous is just like, oh yeah, put it in my veins, baby. Let's go.
It was playable at Summer Game Fest. And there's no embargo on the previews. I didn't get a chance to. I just kept running out of time. I was running in between meetings. I'm like, I'm gonna stop by and play it because I couldn't book a time slot fast enough. It was one of the fastest ones to get booked because everybody knew before they announced it. They sent the thing out and they're like, yeah, we're gonna be there, and there'll be a playable. There'll be 1 or 2 demo booths or demos available if anybody wants to. Within minutes, I went to select. It was already filled. Everyone had the idea they're working on something really fun.
Enhance brought Effect to PAX West when just like that, but they had like an app where you could schedule things and stuff. Sony was like,
yeah.
I just remembered what what my biggest pop for the entire weekend was at the Sony event, and how I'm still buzzing about it, which I'm sure we're going to get to in a second here.
Yep. Let's go on to this next one. Obviously, Pragmata. We were surprised it's still real.
Yeah.
Somehow. Yeah, it was one of those where like I had heard about this a little while back, and I told you about it.
It blew my mind when you told me that this was something that was going to be at SGF that you were like. I was like, they're still making that? Like, new Capcom IP. Like, Capcom is firing on all cylinders, except in one department, which we'll get to in a second. But God bless them. Like, Pragmata seems.
Maybe someone will talk about that.
Jackass will talk about that too.
Some jackass. Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, or the Ivalice Chronicles. Sorry.
Yeah.
It is back. It is real.
So you basically get the OG and the PSP remake both enhanced.
Yes, which is really cool.
That's so smart. That's cool because like they may be the same game, but the scripts are so vastly different. Like it's worth it just for,
It's cool because you legit get to play both of those. Like you'll be able to play the original game if you want, which is fine. And they've made it so that it runs on modern devices.
Yeah.
Or if you want to play the quote unquote enhanced, which is the fully remade version, you could do too. What is interesting to me is it's not an HD 2D.
I kind of expected that. I feel like I don't know. I don't know why my initial thought was gonna be like they're not gonna do, because I feel like they'd make it a bigger deal.
They made Triangle Strategy, and they had the other game that they had remade in HD 2D. So I thought for sure,
I don't know. I just feel like this is something different to them. This isn't
looks gorgeous.
This isn't a remake. This isn't
And I love the note from Matsuno-san. Just as like, it's more prescient today than it is.
Matsuno, extremely based, man.
Yeah. And this one, this is the one.
I'm still buzzing about Tokon, man. Like,
dude, it's so cool.
Oh man, a non-Capcom Marvel fighter is such a sick idea. I'm so excited. Like, people have been dying from Capcom to make a new Marvel fighting game, and like with them, I'm like, I just wanted a new Marvel fighting game. It's such a perfect. The characters are built so perfect for combat like this, for fighting game stuff. That that's why Marvel superheroes and X-Men Children of the Atom. It's like my biggest problem has been that they've been so intrinsically tied to Capcom.
Yeah.
Like, I just want Marvel fighting game. Like, people are kind of
And
bummed
not
that
a mobile one.
Yeah, like I want
which has
real,
been like
like
50. Yeah. A real, yeah.
a real deal, and to pin Arc down for this, like Guilty Gear Strive is such a good fighting game, man. I love Strive. I love Arc. So the thing about Arc games are they're definitely also not. This is not my first fighter. You do not just jump into an Arc game. It doesn't matter what Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, stuff like this. You just don't jump into it. These require a little more. With Marvel versus Capcom and stuff, like you could build yourself up to Street Fighter 2 up to Marvel versus Capcom, because those rely on knowing some of the minutiae of Marvel fighting games and how to do juggles and combos in a Marvel universe kind of thing. 4v4 is kind of bonkers.
4v4 tag is nuts.
I can't wait to see what this roster ends up, because 4v4 means this thing's got to have kind of a hefty roster to keep it like, to keep.
You gotta have like 24 characters at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe up to 32. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just, I mean, and this is, the 21st century, there's going to be characters added, and I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if there are guest characters like Guilty Gear characters popping in or something, or whatever. But so far, killer roster. They got. I like that they went with Danny. Reyes, Ghost Rider. I've always liked that Ghost Rider.
They have this sort of anime.
I hope they keep it Japanese. I don't want them to dub it. I kind of like the idea of having it be like Japanese Marvel. I'm a big fan of that.
It's so good. It's 2026 for PS5, PC. I wrote hist, and I think it's not Xbox. It's just PS5 and PC.
Because at the beginning this is a co-production with Sony.
Yeah,
this is a Sony game. And Sony owns Evo. So they need something. They need their own thing.
It was the right call for Sony to pivot away from the live service and go towards fighting games. But
although I don't know if you've got it in this thing, but I will say that I'm not a big fan of Sony's joystick that they announced.
Oh yeah, I know. I didn't show it off here. No,
that joystick.
It would not have won a Team Choice Award.
It would not have won a Team Choice Award. It would not. The biggest. You got a couple of big problems with it. It doesn't appear like you can open it, which is a big deal for them. And also, it's wireless, which you don't find wireless joysticks for a reason. Nobody wants a wireless joystick.
Right.
So that's gonna, and it's Sony, so it's gonna be $300 or something. It's gonna be ridiculous.
We saw the first trailer for the new Bond game, First Light.
Oh boy. I'm all in, baby.
I am too. I am like, I didn't know what to expect at first. Like I think the original consensus was, it's gonna be GoldenEye with Hitman. Somewhere mixed in, but this is they're really going for it. It looks great. Looks cool.
I love that they're kind of leaning more into book Bond than movie Bond conceptually.
Yes.
So I'll in on that. Young, because it's like everyone wants to say like young James Bond or whatever. It's like, technically, but it is just James Bond. This is what he looked like. Aesthetically, this is what he looked like. I trust this studio a lot. Obviously, if anyone's going to make a Bond game nowadays, this is the studio to do it. It looks good. You can't really get too much of an impression as to how this game is going to feel and like actually be like, but like you get enough of a hint that like, let's go.
They did their own thing after the Summer Game Fest. I didn't get a chance to watch it though, but I wonder how much more they actually reveal.
There's too much content, man. Summer Games Fest really is E3 in the sense where a lot of it's just not for it's like more of it's not intended to be consumed by you. It's kind of thing. Like there's
definitely Hitman-ish stuff to this. I think it's perfect.
There's driving in it, which is
driving in it. Yeah,
that is not a Hitman thing. So
let's go. So that looks great. I'm stoked about that one. I thought this was cool. Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
Legacy Collection.
Oh man, the next
It's
Gold
age
Master.
restricted, whatever. You know what? Maybe I'll watch this on YouTube and then switch over.
Yeah, the next Gold Master, whatever they.
Yeah, you actually didn't have Gold Master. You kind of said it in passing in our predictions.
Yeah,
you're like, I'd really love a Gold Master, but we probably won't get. Maybe it's too early. We'll get like a kids thing. And this is not a kids thing. Although I did play this when I was like 13, 14, 15 years old.
Actually, I have a good. I am going to say I'm going to give myself half a point for a kids thing because they did announce a new Wu-Tang game.
That's true.
And Wu-Tang is for the children.
We'll talk. That's true. That's true. I am so stoked about this. Mortal Kombat 4 is in this one. Which is so weird. So like that's funny. The one. Like no one remembers like, that one.
You're like, oh, that's cute. You think you belong with these guys, huh?
Yeah. I have
MK4 from GOG. I played it not that long ago. It's so bad. I'm sorry. But that's the thing I said when they announced this because they show these ones too. Yeah. The one and I think I said it in my Atari 50 review where they ignore the bad stuff.
Right.
Which sucks because the bad stuff is just as much part of history as the good stuff. Sometimes more so. Like I said then, the ET version, the ET should be in the Atari collection. ET and Pac-Man because they were notoriously bad. They they were just as important to the history of Atari as Missile Command or Asteroids or Pong. And the same thing goes here. Like the Game Boy version and the Game Boy Advance version of Mortal Kombat are notoriously bad.
Yeah.
Like exceptionally bad.
I play those on my iPhone. Yep.
Yeah, they're miserable. So it's cool to include those. That's smart. That's
and they're going to have a lot more too. Like the actual, you look at like the list of games, and they have like 4. They have Advance. They have Deadly Alliance. They have Tournament Edition.
Well, they show like if you go to the website, they show like MK1. It's like 6 versions of MK1.
Yes,
it's like the Game Gear version of MK1.
So they have the arcade, the SNES, Genesis, Game Boy, and Game Gear version of MK1. The 32X version of MK2 is in there.
That's the one that I had.
Wild. Yeah.
I hope. So
no, it's cool. It's really cool.
I hope they have Trilogy. I hope Trilogy makes an appearance.
I think they probably will put it in there. Yeah.
I hope so.
But so that one's awesome. Definitely stoked about that one because again,
rollback netcode is great.
Rollback netcode. And then we had the actual Summer Game Fest, and let's just go right to the punchline. Resident Evil Requiem. Requiem. You mentioned that tease. The crowd in there, I'll tell you right now, in that room, lost their effing minds. And I thought it was wonderful. When they first showed this, initially I thought I'm like, oh, this is Control. No, it's not Control. Like in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh no, it's not Control. And I saw someone working on this stuff, and then when it says unidentified disease, I'm like, it's Resident Evil. They got Resident Evil in there. This is awesome. Resident Evil, blah blah blah.
I don't know if it
felt like it was right away.
Yeah, I don't know if it came across there, but boy, Jeff seemed like when they had a tight zoom in on Jeff, and he was about to cry at the concept of announcing Resident Evil 9.
He was definitely about to, like, on the stage. He was visibly like, I know you guys see in the video, you can see there, but he was visibly like his hands were like, shaking. And like they announce it, and he walks over to the corner and he's looking at it. It was like the Elden Ring awe moment for him. It was like the second time we did that, so it was cool. No, it was trailer looks great. I love the just the vibe that they're setting for this. With it's not Romania, it's not Europe. Yeah. We are back in Raccoon City, man, and we got some horror level stuff going on. Like they make it a point. Well, I don't want to say. Maybe somebody had a chance to see some.
Maybe some jackass got to see.
Maybe some jackass. But what they can tell from this, like, it definitely sounds like there's more horror. There's more. God, I really got to learn to write. A shift from traditional Resident Evil games. Goodness, Dolly. This is when spelling, spelling doesn't actually catch up to me writing. The spell check. But anyways,
this is also you on like your 5th 5-hour energy.
Trying to stay awake at night. Exactly. I think I did post this at like 1 or 2 a.m. That night, but it's it's good. I mean, it just looks dope. Like they're definitely going to, you know, this crazy aspect of horror. Like it looks like it's an actual freaking horror survival game. So
and also it's absolutely bonkers that this character is the daughter of a character from Resident Evil Outbreak. Like just like a forgotten Resident Evil game that wasn't even particularly like, it was fine. Nobody it wasn't anybody's favorite Resident Evil. You know, it's the online weird thing. So that's everything's connected in Resident Evil. There has never been a throwaway character to exist.
Definitely. But yeah, cool. The place was the joy was palpable that when they showed this. So.
I went back and watched the Resident Evil 7 announcement trailer from E3 all those years ago, and like when it gets revealed that this is Resident Evil, and the audience losing their mind, dude, because it was fresh off the heels of PT. Still, like, people were.
Was that at a PlayStation event?
I think it was an Xbox event.
Oh, it was an Xbox. Okay,
I think so. But also, like, it's like, you know, decade ago at this point. And that kind of information gets lost in the video. It just says Resident Evil 7 announcement, in still like in theater announcement.
And February. I mean, February is the Resident Evil time. You know, you'd think October,
but no, Halloween.
It's February. They are smart. They are smart. And it just looks cool. Just teeth. Show me the teeth. There. Teeth.
That's some big teeth, man. Those
some big teeth. Yeah, a lot of dental appointments for that one. This is one that I was psyched about. Felt that.
It's a good name, man.
Yeah, really good name. Just as like we talked about.
I'm sorry.
What we talked about.
Muppet Punch Out.
There you go. I spoke extensively about how, you know, Unreal Engine realistic is fine. It's great. But I want to see people use technology and shift away from realism. Like, what can you actually do with the technology that's unique instead of trying to make, you know, Geralt look exactly like the more realistic Geralt. This to me was this using Unreal 5, man. This is it. Like, this was just so badass. They've nailed the feel of this. They nailed the animation, the motion. Like this is how these puppets function. And the best part is the writing side. Like, it's not just cool, accurate puppets. It's that little shaky animation. It's it's them talking. It's how they interact with each other. So I think they really did, from what it looks like, to be a stellar job as this. I'm gonna guess it's probably just a bunch of mini games. You know, that it's like gonna be a boxing game made up of mini games, but it just looks cool.
I think it's going to have boxing as like the main focus, but like you're going to be training your guy in between doing different chores that are different mini games to build up your stats and stuff. So
it's cool. Looks great. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So felt that boxing. Cool. I don't know when it's coming out. Next year, sometime in the future. No idea. But yeah, it's cool. And this is their tech demo that they showed a little while back when they were just showcasing using the technology. So it's like, they were actually looking at this thing. So good for them.
Yeah. Cool stuff. We definitely need video games. Definitely need to branch out in aesthetics. Like, it's you get like pixel, Saturday morning cartoon, or like realistic, and those are your sort of options. Like we're too far in between with things like claymation and like I always like a good claymation game.
Claymation is great.
Beautiful.
How about a game that's not claymation but brickmation?
Yeah, it's like Voyagers. Stop motion Lego. Like
I thought this was another cool.
It's a brilliant idea.
I posted.
Absolutely
brilliant. Really is. I posted these specific trailers because I can post some of the other cool stuff, the realistic stuff, the Atomic Heart, which I still probably will. But this idea is just awesome. You're literally just a little brick. It's a co-op game that you just connect to other little pieces and you solve puzzles by connecting, whether you connect to parts and pieces and bounce around, or you connect to each other to do things. And I think there's like this awesome, wholesome way to do storytelling. Like, look at you, you're getting launched on there, and I think it's just so cool. It's just a fun, silly little concept, but it's just brilliant. It's charming, and it looks great. And I cannot wait to play this. I cannot wait to play this. I mean, you're building little contraptions to get around areas. I think that's just cool. And there were a couple Lego games. There was a Lego Party game as well that came out.
Yeah, that looks great.
That announced. I don't think I posted about it here. Some asshole probably played that too.
Yeah.
But like they're doing a good job of like, this is realistic ass looking Lego.
I still really like Lego Brick Tales. I thought that was a really good Lego game.
Yeah, I didn't play that. I didn't play Brick Tales.
Like, I'm glad that they're branching out from just like IP Lego adventure game number 7. Like, you know, I don't hate those games. I still really do like those, like, you know, Lego Marvel, Lego Indiana Jones, Lego whatever, you know, Jurassic Park.
I'm just seeing all these notes come in, you jerks. I'm up at like, so this count me in for this Lego game. Cool. It's Brick Fiction, not Split Fiction. Brick Fiction. I think it's cool. And then I mean, look at this little thingy here. How cool is this train looking thing? It's badass. Moving on, Blighted from Drinkbox. I did not get a chance to play this, but this looked so we got to see the Day of the Dev stuff ahead of time, and I had mentioned that there's a new, you know, a new game from the team coming up from Drinkbox, and this looks sick. Like, they're, you know, just a 3D roguelike adventure. Like, they like to hop into these genres and have a blast. Like, this is still a Metroidvania, but there's like roguelike elements. There's you know, it's just It's just,
I was gonna tease them as like, great. Oh boy, Drinkbox making a Metroidvania. Wow.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Like, they are doing something different with it.
They are doing something different, and the folks that were playing it were having a blast at SGF. So, but look how cool it looks. Yeah, looks great. Looks so good. Looks so good. Essentially, they're like,
it looks very Bastion.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah.
Aesthetically.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. If it means they're getting closer to Hades level of you know, big indie games. But kudos to Drinkbox.
We need more super giants out there.
We do. This was awesome. I mean, not a part of Summer Game Fest proper, but it was a part of, I think, one of the ones
announced during the everything.
Yep. I think it was like right after or one of the other showcases on that Saturday or whatever it was. But I had always said way back when, before people were watching The Expanse, I had been reading the books, right? Before the books, before the show was made, I'd read a few of the books, and they announced the show. And the first season of the show, I told everyone, because nobody watches on Sci-Fi, who's going to watch this stuff on Sci-Fi. I told everyone, I'm like, we're with Mass Effect. I think Mass Effect 2 or 3 was delayed or something. I think it was 3. 3 was delayed. I told everyone, like watch The Expanse, because The Expanse is that same soap opera, Mass Effect style soap opera. So, and Expanse grew to be this big, actually a pretty big property. It's now had like 2 or 3 games. This is the latest. It is Mass Effect-ish, man. What's that?
Isn't that a Telltale game? Isn't it?
Yeah, it's Telltale, and it's good. Or the end adventure game is really good. I enjoyed it. I think I like to go back to it every once in a while too. Yeah. So this is, yes, exactly. Owlcat's making this one. It's great. I mean, it looks really cool to have that actual Mass Effect Expanse game that I've wanted. So
it's not like we're getting a new Mass Effect anytime soon. So
I mean, supposedly they're working on it, but there's basically, it focuses on a lot of those characters, or it focuses on the sort of adjacent stories that are that are happening in this universe. But at the same time, apparently they did bring in some of the actors and cast of the TV series to record stuff, get motion capture for this. They don't show them in here, I don't think, but they're included in some ways. It's going to have some crossover. The Expanse is really interesting because at some point it does move away from just the main cast. Like, there's a main cast to the show and the books, but it starts branching out and stuff's happening everywhere in the galaxy. Which is really cool. So
it's sort of a thing that gets lost a lot in sci-fi is that, like, it's not taking, like, if something takes place on Earth, you can kind of understand a sort of connection. Like, I can get it. I can get why one singular person's existence would be so important. But like when it gets out into space, it was always like Mass Effect, like, and even Star Wars. It's like there's got to be just as big of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Completely removed from like this stuff. Like but like within like the same ecosystem, like all the same tech is there, all the same sort of concepts are there, but like the other side of a solar system would be so completely different. Like
stuff is happening out there. Like there are stories that we're not hearing. So this looks great. I'm very curious. I don't think it doesn't look like they're showing actual gameplay. They like. This
not.
That's not. But yeah, hey, bring it. I'll take more expand stuff. And then we had. I'm gonna blast through these last couple. I enjoyed Mortal Shell. So when they announced Mortal Shell 2, like it's funny. So they announced this. I think it was as I had just walked into the Summer Game Fest. I think it was just the first thing they showed. Mortal Shell 2. I think it
was right up there, because we were joking that they were going on and on about like the originality of indie studios and how original concepts are, and then just immediately go into a Souls-like that looks like a Souls-like.
I enjoyed this game. I have it on my I have it on my Switch, which we'll talk about.
Mortal Shell is the like first like actual like on this show vocal interaction I had with Sam. He came on to do it because he also did a like live.
That's right. That's right. There you go. Wow. Yeah. Wow. It's I mean, it's a Souls-like. It is. It was one of the first like in the kind of the birth of the genre. Like obviously you had Dark Souls, you had Dark Souls 2, 3, Bloodborne, but no one was really making them outside of From Software.
Yeah, no, this was definitely the first
and so this was one of them. They're like, hey, we can make these kinds of games, because now once they started calling them Souls-like, people had the idea, it's like, well, we're gonna make a game. If you've created a genre for your games, you're not just action adventure. You're basically calling them Souls-likes. All right, we're gonna start making them. So
it's funny. It's funny to think about it, because like it took a while for me to realize that like, oh wait, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne are all the exact same game, just from different like.
Yes. Yep. So yeah. Anyways, kudos to PlayStack. I will play this. I mean, I've been more and more hopping into Souls-likes, and I always liked the idea of this one, which was you're grabbing, the husks of fallen warriors, and you're kind of getting their abilities, and it's like it's like an interesting way to take on jobs and abilities. So I thought that was cool from the first one. So yeah, good on them. Kudos. And then Into the Unwell, I thought looked great. I'm big on. I wrote a little article about rubber hose stuff. It's a little piece about it. So yeah, a little history about rubber hose animation. You can feel free to read about it in this article. It looks good. I love rubber hose animation. There was a big reason that it was the way it was. Now, Cuphead is like hand drawn, a lot of hand drawn. This is done in 3D. But I think the concept,
3D looks cool. 3D rubber hose animation is extremely tricky to pull off.
Exactly, and they're able to get it here. I think it looks well done here. So I'm bring it. I'll the guy looks like he's on some craziness, but it's a roguelike, and call me, cover me in rubber hoses, I guess. Looks cool. And then we get into Microsoft. I think that was it for the Summer Game Fest stuff, right? Microsoft.
Probably.
Yeah, this was the biggest news out of that one. Republic of Gamer, the Asus Republic of Gamers Xbox Ally X, and the Asus Republic of Gamers Xbox Ally, the all-in-one entertainment platform for video games, movies, and music. Handheld version. Yeah, that's official.
Yeah, isn't the like Xbox actually like Microsoft Xbox console family of consoles or whatever?
It sure is. I still get those press releases. So here we go. They got two of these bad boys coming out. One is the S version, and one is the X version.
I got
low end and a high end.
I mean, like I've talked about it. I got the Ally Z1 Extreme. It was, you know, you had the original
So,
release, and then you had the one better release, which is the one that I got, and then they put out the X, which is what's like on the market now, and now they're doing this Xbox stuff, which is like a
so it's interesting. Like, how much does like the higher end one? How much do they cost right now in the market? Like
the one that I have is $650.
Okay.
The X is $900. Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the price of these things, because you look at the the stats behind this, and it's some of the stuff is high end, right? It is definitely up there. It is I don't know where it falls from, like Switch 2, and it's definitely more powerful than a Steam Deck, but I don't know where it falls on a few other things. It's obviously got a smaller screen.
Well, I'll tell you that I think even my Ally that I have, runs a lot of stuff better than the Steam Deck does on Steam. So it may not be more like it's probably, if anything, it's probably just got a bit more underneath it than a Steam Deck, but not enough to really like be significantly different. It's got to run Windows, so it kind of needs any upper hand it can get. Like, this doesn't need to run Windows. This doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. So what I find interesting about this, do they have another video? Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest. I do not like the design of this thing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. I'm not a fan of it. It is definitely a ROG design team that led this. But we had a couple good conversations about this in the
Discord.
Viewer boosters, we got them. Okay, so this is good. Hot takes. I was thinking about this all weekend, and I spoke to a bunch of folks, and everybody has kind of their own opinion about this. And we've had some good conversations in the Discord, both some of the stuff that I had heard, cost-wise, which I won't talk about who I heard it from. If you think this is going to be now, again, the sources I've talked to, they weren't giving me actual like prices, but the consensus is, if you're thinking that you're getting this at like a Switch 2 price, $450 to $499, you're mistaken. Because like you said, JJ, the existing one is like $700, $800.
Yeah, what would be now?
And this is like more powerful than that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, this thing's even more powerful than the $900 one that's on the market right now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's more powerful than that. So I kept thinking, like, what's the price going to be? Like, I'm guessing, you know, if it's $599 and $699, I don't think you want to go more than that. Like, that's what I was thinking. I mean, ideally, you want to go $499, $599, but it ain't going to be that low, because you're, you know, you're going to have issues. But
here's the problem, because like we got to look at it realistically for a little bit. Like, this thing, as much as we want to sort of compare it against the granddaddy in the room, the Steam Deck, the Steam Deck really doesn't have that big of a hold on the public marketplace of video game systems, period.
Right.
Like, it's a small,
it's like 3.5 or 4 million Steam Decks total have been sold.
4 million sold, which is not a number to sneeze at, but also, like, that's not, you know, it's not Xbox numbers. Now this thing has the advantage going into it that it's going to be sold as the portable Xbox. They're going to brand it as, this will play your Xbox games and your Steam games and your whatever, you know, what have you. I don't. The marketing is going to be what pushes this thing, but I think they also have to realize that market share isn't going to be huge.
So there's a good point that this is interesting numbers. From the initial rumors right now, or rumors, I don't say, the initial analytics behind the Switch 2 sales are that the Switch 2 in its first weekend or its first day or something, it hasn't even been a week, right?
Yeah.
It's been 5 days.
5 days.
Has already sold over 3 million units.
Yeah.
Which is, that's essentially, in its first week, it will have outsold the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
In its first week, to the point where in its first year, there are going to be more Switch 2s already. JJ's not typing. It was me playing with this bag.
Yeah. He's having his pretz
ASMR.
twists.
No, in its first year, the Switch 2 will have outsold all of the mobile PC handhelds combined.
Oh, yeah.
That's it's a completely different market. People should not be comparing, like, mobile PCs like this Xbox, like the Steam Deck, are not primary gaming devices. They are adjacent gaming devices. That's why they're selling so little. I will say a couple things though that I find kind of interesting, and that is, I think Microsoft knows they're not hitting mass market with this thing. The only way they could hit mass market is if they do get it at the there you go, 2,600 plus. Will they play them all? I mean,
I guess never mind.
No, I was gonna say, let me get through my thoughts before I forget them, because I'm old. Microsoft doesn't care about hitting mass market for this thing. They're not gauging units sold as their measure. Their goal isn't to get more units sold. Their goal is to their goal isn't to make money off this. So I can see them taking a wash on this guy.
Yeah,
a big time wash. The goal is to get more people playing, to get people playing Xbox longer, because now you will have a place to play an Xbox with you. Like, people who are the diehard Xbox folk, the fanatics, the fans, I should say, not the fanatics, will be able to. Sorry, my naked knee there. Now you will be able to play your Xbox longer. So it's an hours thing. Like, they're gauging success by increased hours of Xbox game time.
Yeah,
and that means
this is the console version of engagement farming.
For all intents and purposes, this is a Game Pass machine. Like, they want you playing Xbox games.
Yeah,
because also, in the long run, that could convert to certain things. This is a big gamble for them from that standpoint, but it is a long game type of thing. It's like, they want you in that system. They want you to be able to play more Xbox anywhere you can, get those hours up. So that's what I think is the big pull for them, not selling, numbers.
It's also, I'm going to bring up this one real quick on the, the 2,600 plus Xbox One games out there. We'll play them all. It's hard to get like the actual information on this, but it's not like this is actually playing like your console games. This is playing the Xbox games that are on PC.
Right.
This is not playing like it just so happens that most of that stuff is interchangeable.
Right.
Stuff that was on Xbox that never really made its way. If you go to Xbox Game Pass on your PC right now and you click the Play Anywhere button, that's what you're going to be able to play on this Ally as of right now. Like, so it's not like it's not as like universal as it sounds, but it's still pretty universal. Which is also the funny thing, because like, again, this is the UI is going to do the heavy lifting here, because the Allies right now do all of this. It plays Steam, Xbox, GOG, Epic, whatever. Like, they do that now. This is all OS to make you feel like stripping out, because Windows sucks on that. That is my biggest complaint about the Ally that I have now, is that Windows sucks for this stuff. I like the fact that it's Windows, because I can just do more. I can load mods. I can use trainers. I can download like weird itch files and weird things and stuff like that. It goes way beyond what the Steam Deck can do. The Steam Deck is just easy to use. It just works. You download a game, you play it. It just works, which is what the Ally seems to be. This Xbox Ally seems to be trying to get the middle ground between Steam Deck and what the Ally is in its present, which is good. I really prefer my Ally over my Steam Deck most of the time for various reasons. But
I would love to have a device that natively plays all my different game platforms on Steam and Epic. The reason I don't play my Epic games is because they're on my laptop. They're on my they're tied to a PC. Mobile, I will play them. Steam games, I play my Steam Deck a lot. Like my Steam Deck is my main gaming device. Kudos to like the reason I went into the Steam Deck was because I could finally play PC games, you know, and I don't have to feel like my laptop was never strong enough. The Steam Deck was a great level set. I feel bad because I don't play my GOG games. I don't play my Twitch, you know, my Amazon
Your Amazon
games,
freebies,
Luna, all that stuff. Because they're not on my Steam Deck. My Steam Deck is a heck of a device for PC gaming.
It's actually really easy to get your GOG games onto the Steam Deck with almost no work.
All right, we will be talking about this for sure. But Microsoft going the route of, or you know, or ROG, Republic of Gamers, ROG, whatever you want to call them, going this route is good because again, it really is about engagement. It's getting those numbers, getting people into the system, because I think it's twofold. One, you're getting, like, for Xbox, it's great because you're getting folks to play games like a ton. Like it is good justification for.
And it's not going to suck. Like this device isn't going to suck because it's something they already make that's pretty well. And so it's not going to have a negative connotation of like, well, the system sucked too. So you get some positives, like by the time you get around to actually trying to enter this market, if it's still there.
So this is a good, I was going to say, this is like a good justification to shareholders and to the higher ups to say, hey, this is where people are playing Xbox games now. Let's continue to invest in Xbox. And I think that's actually cool
as a brand.
As a brand. I think it's, in Game Pass. I think it is justification for them because you are going to see those numbers go up. That's number one. Number two, you are now switching everybody over to Windows. Like Xbox as a separate non-Windows console device here on going forward is dead. Like it's gone. Forget it. Every Xbox going forward is going to be this Windows version. So you're going to see these in hardware. You're like, your next hardware is probably going to have this back end in it where it can play, where it will be this Windows version. You can play all your different platforms, Steam. You're going to have Epic. You're going to have GOG, and you're going to have Xbox and Game Pass and all that kind of fun stuff. And you're also going to have native Windows like downloads, right? Because there's a native Windows store. So for them, this is the end of Xbox, the formal end of Xbox as a separate OS entity. It is now, this is Xbox as just a brand quantifier to say Windows gaming. It's really just Windows gaming. We're just going to call it Xbox, but it's just Windows.
Xbox makes it very clear what when you say when you put slap the Xbox logo on a device, it is very clear what you're selling it as to the market. It's no longer going to make you guess. It's like, no, I buy this. This is going to play my Xbox games. That's what I need it for. That's what I'm going to do. Instead of trying to guess, like, will this thing play games? Or is it just going to play Minecraft? Or what does games for Windows Live really mean? That kind of
stuff. So this is it. It's like, this is the formal. It's good and bad. It's bad in a way, again, because it means it has fully relegated Xbox to just being a brand within Windows to sell Windows. But it's good because now you have you actually have everything sort of unified, and you can focus. And
is that how you design things, Dally?
Yeah, I tend to grab giant pieces of soft acrylic and just crush them. Yeah, for sure.
Just want to make sure.
But this is also cool too. You mentioned, Ryan says, will you lose loading mods on this? No, there'll be. That's some of the stuff is in there because they did talk a little bit about it. But I think
it's still like Windows at the end of the day. Like that's.
People will be able to modify the heck of this thing. But I do think the cool note about
GOG just launched a one-touch mod service too, which will probably
for sure. But I think it's good from that standpoint that they are they have made this smaller UI, like a very specific version of Windows that they shut off a bunch of stuff, and it's coming to more than just this device. So for them, this will actually be an easier way to get hardware out there to people. Like, look at Surface. Like, Surface is their Windows proper, brand. Like
Yeah.
for all intents and purposes, Surface is the Windows version of Xbox. Like it is the productivity version of Xbox, and Xbox is the gaming version of Windows. So it is. I think they're in good shape to just finally unify a lot of this stuff. And you see Apple's trying to do it the same way. They announced their gaming thing finally got something, baby steps in the right direction. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't think they're going to sell a ton, but I think the people who do buy this are going to put major hours into this thing, and that's what ultimately Microsoft wants. So
it's going to be the best emulator machine on the market.
Yeah. And because this is the first one, like they said, they kind of put theirs, or the rumor was they put theirs on the back burner to partner up and put this guy out, which I think is good because this starts to get people accustomed to what it's a big trial. It's a big clinical trial for them to figure out what works, what doesn't work, so that when Microsoft does eventually, because they always do, put out their own version of this, they'll have all the knowledge based off of what people were, what folks were doing to play with this thing. So yeah.
You're gonna sign in the Game Pass. They're gonna collect all of your data and use that.
Exactly. Let us go to the last.
I'm sure the battery will last all of an hour and a half.
Exactly. Invincible Versus. Forgot. This was mentioned during the Xbox thing. I go ahead.
I don't care.
Okay, you don't care. That's fine. I will say, there you go for all the NES ROMs. I will say, just from what I heard, keep an eye on the previews that are coming out, because this is that Killer Instinct team. This and like other folks who know how to put a good fighting game together. And they're really aiming with this one. They are really aiming on the fighting community. Like they're working hand in hand. We hear that a lot. They're working hand in hand. But you can also do fun stuff with Invincible as a property that you can't do with like Mortal Kombat or definitely not with Street Fighter. Maybe not even as much with Marvel. But the stuff that I was told by some folks who actually apparently there were people who were able to try this thing, is to just keep an eye on the previews whenever the hands-on previews. I don't know if there are embargoes or what the embargoes are on that thing, but I'd be really curious to keep an eye on that kind of stuff. It looks interesting.
When you say the Killer Instinct, what do you mean? Like
yeah. I mean, there are like
the original when they brought it back for Xbox, season 1 was garbage.
yeah. So it was. I guess the
season 2 and 3 was Iron Galaxies, the Dave Lang joint.
That's who this is, Iron Galaxy. So yeah, I mean, fighting stuff. Okay, and anything else? Oh yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is Black Ops 7, so that is a thing. This is how Microsoft ended their showcase. It's like, oh, okay. There's a lot of stuff missing from that showcase. I will say this: they did P4R, so Persona 4 Revival, worst kept secret, because we knew they were making both of these before Persona 3 was even announced as a remake. Like we knew they were making both of these suckers. So yeah, here we go. P4R. It's a thing. It looks good. A lot of folks love Persona 4 Golden. I feel like this is going to be just like what they did with Persona 3, which was release the DLC separately. I think is what they did for the the updated version or something. So, or just make a whole other, just make another updated version of this updated version to sell even more, which is also a very Atlas Sega thing to do. But hey, cool. Persona, people like it. A lot of folks are excited for it. So yeah. And then finally, I'll end on this guy. The Pokemon Company. This is not a Pokemon Company, but it kind of is a Pokemon Company.
Yeah.
They do. They make games in between making Pokemon games. There's always teams, I guess, fiddling with stuff. And this was initially with Private Division. I forget the Project Bloom, I think was what it was called. In Private Division, all that kind of crazy stuff happened. They were spun off of Embracer or whoever they were at. I don't even know anymore. It's just a big mess. But they found a new partner for this, Fictions, and yeah, this is Game Freak. It is the folks that own the Pokemon company or part of the Pokemon company. They don't own the Pokemon license, but they own the the Pokemon company, and they're having fun. There's no word if this is coming to Switch 2 or anything, but it says right now it's Xbox and PC and PlayStation. But yeah,
I mean, like Game Freak, Game Freak, like Pocket Jockey. That was one of their. That was one of their like
Tembo the elephant, right?
Tembo the badass elephant.
Yeah. Neither of which started off on Nintendo platform. Actually, I don't think Tembo is still not on a Nintendo platform.
Yeah, no, it's not. There's no Tembo. It's like Giga Wrecker and
that Harmonite, which was like a 3DS.
They did Harmonite. I like Harmonite.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, they let them kind of have fun with stuff. And now that they're, to be honest, if anything, them creating a game like this will hopefully let them understand technology enough to pull it into Pokemon when they do the next Pokemon, the next big Pokemon game. So, but this is announced.
Yeah,
so.
The DNA of this game is definitely not in Pokemon Legends ZA.
Right. So let me go on a couple games that I had played while I was there. Oh man, this is the one that JJ. We're getting to the gameplay section. I played a few games, and then I'm also going to show JJ some of the things I got. So, and then the two games I'll talk about Shinobi. Shinobi is freaking sick, man. This was, I died not necessarily a lot like through the level. I died on a couple sort of boss areas because it was completely self-inflicted. So there are essentially this is what the next Shinobi is by the team that made Streets of Rage 4. I think it's Lizard Cube is the name of the company. But it's beautifully drawn. Everything's hand drawn. It's a side-scrolling platforming ninja game. You got abilities. These battles are, even the battles against random little enemies that you come across they all feel like one-on-one battles, right? So you can use the ninpo arts. You can use traversal abilities to like jump through and over enemies and climb on stuff and go all over the place. But the battles themselves, the combat felt great because it felt like it was even just like some random ninja or a demon or whatever on the or a troll or goblin. Like it's a one-on-one fight. You're slashing, you're parrying, you're blocking, you're jumping over, you're breaking armor, you're breaking defenses, you're using your move sets, and then Tembo is, and then you'll get situations where you face off against like 10 on a screen, and that's where I was screwing up because I got great at one-on-one fights, but then I would forget about everybody else on the screen, and that's where I kind of screw up because there's one enemy that I got to face, which was this sort of she was sort of like an elemental, like this I don't know, wizard or magician or what it would be called, but she could control the elements. She controlled lightning. So and they're an enemy that's all over the levels, but she would be up on like a platform somewhere up here, and I'd be down like over here, and my hands are fighting against an enemy, and all of a sudden she would shoot lightning up and it would come down here, and then so I'd move over here, take care of another enemy. So her lightning was kind of this guided whatever lightning thing. So you have to avoid that while you're getting swamped by like 1 or 2 or 5 different enemies on another level of this platform. And so I had to learn to go take her out first and then come back down and take out enemies. And so there is a little bit of understanding, where your strategy is in this game. And I loved it. Like, we got to play for an hour. They just kind of threw us in there. The first level was, it's sort of like a tutorial. So Joe Musashi is essentially, he had sort of retired as a ninja, as a shinobi, and he has a family. His wife is about to have a baby, and he's leading a school for folks, like a combat training school, like a for potential future warriors. Well, the school is attacked, and they're attacked by this this corporation, this defense company, this I don't know, whatever it is, typical bad guy situation there. And so your job is to go rescue your students and find out, put this to the end, put this company to the end. So first level is just sort of learning the ropes. You kind of see in the video, these are zoomed in. They're not the overall layout of a level. Like they're expansive. They're huge levels, but they're not complex levels. Like you may have a couple times where you have to go up to do something and like hop onto a platform and hit a switch and open something back down there. But for the most part, you're constantly going forward from left to right. There are Metroidvania-ish elements because you'll see like blocked green areas that you can't get to because you don't have the ability. Like maybe it's a slash through wall ability, or it's a lightning strike ability, or a different type of ability. Like some of the stuff I'm showing there, there's a shuriken ability, but you can't get to these things until you acquire the ability later and then come back. Again, they're completely optional though, and it's fully for like the collectathon, like those of us who love to just continue opening up, like me, who love to open up stuff. So it's not maybe Metroidvania is not the right word. It's just unavailable things to collect, type of stuff. So I found that really cool. It's like, hey, it's fun if you want to get everything.
So it used to be a common trend in 16-bit games in
it
particular,
was
where you would see something out of reach that you knew. It's like, oh, I won't be able to get that until I get an ability later.
Yes.
It's not blocking progression. It's blocking just the win center.
Yep. It's all it is. You want to be a completionist 100%, then you will come back. It's just fun little secrets within levels. And so
I just want to say it's driving me nuts because the demo that you gave me a review code for is the Ninja Gaiden demo.
Yeah.
And it's just like there is so much overlap going on between these two games. I wish
I can't wait to hear about that. We'll talk about that
next
on the next episode for sure. Yeah. Having both these games come out this year though, I think is freaking awesome. Like anyways, they're
trying the same thing, but going at it at different ways, which is really cool.
Yeah. I'm stoked. I loved it. I loved my hands on. The first major, there were two end of level bosses. The first level, he's like this big sort of reddish ape type of hulking dude. And he'll just kind of do some melee attacks, and then he'll jump up on his staff and kind of spin on his staff a little bit and then go flying into the air, and then he'll land on top of you. Avoiding that part is not bad, but he will also turn purple and impervious. And when things turn purple in this game, when enemies turn purple, they're impervious, right? So he'll turn purple and impervious and then shoot like this big wave at you, and you have to double jump over the wave. Well, you're learning to take on this boss because it really is, it's a pattern. There's definitely a pattern of how to defeat him. And when you get that pattern, you can clobber him without getting hit at all. He's the first boss. Typically first bosses are like that. You won't get hit at all. And we're losing JJ. Hopefully it's JJ and not me, but we'll see. So yeah, hey, I was really digging it. I definitely think it's something that the second boss, by the way, for the second level is much more complex. That's where I had to climb on ceilings and do a bunch of other, a bunch of arts to get through. And breaking armor sets and stuff. And I kept dying. Let me say a very Ninja Gaiden-ish section. I was hopping across the swamp, and I saw the dude who throws the throwing star, and I knew he was going to throw the throwing star, and I still would jump into him and get hit and fall back into the swamp. And I'm like, God, every time that's that Ninja Gaiden bird situation all over again. And once I finally figured that out, I was able to get through. But yeah, anyways, great game. I think you're going to get a kick out of this, JJ. But I think I may have you do the Ninja Gaiden full game, and I may do this as a full game, but we'll see. Maybe we'll argue over who gets what, or maybe we'll just sell it. We'll just buy a bunch of copies and sell them. No, it's good. It's awesome. I love this era of modernized action games. So yeah. You still there? Can you see me, JJ? I don't know if you're frozen. You may be frozen. But we were getting into the Switch 2 discussion sometime. Oh, there he is. All right. I'm going to dump him from here. Remove and add. There you are.
My internet's bad today, man.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I figured I was saying let's get into the Switch 2 because we have both been playing the Switch 2. We got ours. Yeah. I want to give a quick shout out, by the way, to Exadramoose, to Zero the Prototype, who actually both of them came out and hung out with me while I was getting my Switch 2 at midnight. This one over here. Oh wait, before I get to that part, JJ, I did say I got a couple things for you from Summer Game Fest. Speaking of Bandai Namco, whoever saw Bandai Namco stuff, probably a ridiculous asshole, but was able to get some swag from there. You like Pac-Man? Look at this lenticular. That is badass.
That's sick.
Isn't that cool? So yeah. I'll send this over to you. I know you love this stuff as much as I do, if obviously more, but I think this will go to a better home than if I just kept it for myself. So I saw that this just badass pin. They give these out to everybody at Summer Game Fest. So it was in a swag bag. And then I was at IGN Live. Yeah, you did. Oh, that nice. You got that pin at PAX too? How come I didn't get that pin at PAX? Oh, anyways, where were we?
We ignored Bandai Namco.
We ignored Bandai. It's probably why too. But I stopped by IGN Live. I forgot to mention that, and that was fine. It was a different setup, different mood. It was much bigger than it was last year. They were on 2 full floors, and the most popular thing was Mario Kart World because Switch 2 just came out. I'll say this: it's been a weird couple months for games since the Switch 2 was announced. Stuff was leaking. People, everybody's holding off the Grand Theft Auto delay, blah blah. It's hard to control stuff, but they had some TV things. Obviously, IGN Live is more than just games. It's like music, TV, wrestling, toys, and they had FX was there with Alien Earth, like a little mini installation. You take some pictures and stuff with it, and they got these cool pins. So I got you this Alien Earth pin.
Oh hell yeah!
I'll get that
over to you. I love me a Xenomorph, man.
Yeah, it's a cool looking. It's like wrapped around the Earth.
Yeah, that's the logo that they use.
Yeah. So I'll send those over to you. Yeah. My gift to JJ. I got a cool Magic the Gathering mat of Magic Gathering Cross Final Fantasy mat. So I'm gonna get that over to Johnny. Johnny's the MTG guy on staff. So, anyways, let's get into Switch 2. So it was a good time. Hang out with Exadramoose and Zero the Prototype. We also bumped into Ramen Don, which was awesome, like another local person from the area. And apparently our very own Ben from SideQuesting was at the same Best Buy.
But he was hours behind you.
He was hours behind us. And apparently Exadramoose, Zero, we didn't notice, but apparently the pre-order line went all the way back around the side of the building too. So that was nuts. So yeah, he was there. We did not see him. Dang it.
How long? We got. Okay, so when did you get in line?
Let's see. Exadramoose. Yeah, Greg got there just a little bit before I did. I think he said he got there like around 10:15. I think I got there probably like around 10:20, maybe 10:20. It was like just a couple minutes. I stopped by Tim Hortons, got coffee, and for myself. I was hungry.
The Best Buy is directly across the street from the mall, so I went to BJ's Brew House.
Oh, breaking news, by the way. Nintendo Switch 2, I just got this email from Nintendo. Nintendo Switch 2 sets the record, selling over 3.5 million units globally in the first 4 days. Holy shit. That is a
Steam Decks in its lifetime.
Yeah, has outsold the Steam Deck in a weekend. It didn't say how many Mario Kart World, but it did mention Mario Kart World. And they don't mention Direct in their email. This is just a very proud, I'm going to flop it on the table.
I think that was the thing that I said. That it was like Nintendo is going to be insufferable with these numbers because,
it's yeah, you're right, because they never talk about numbers like this.
Yeah,
They do not talk about numbers.
Well, because okay, so like I said, I had dinner across the street, and I got in line at about 8:45. And by the time I got in line at about 8:45, the line was the pre-order line, two separate lines, wrapped around, like, you know, what would be wrapped around the building. If it did wrap around the building, we would be in traffic, so they had to like wrap around the parking lot. Whereas the not pre-order line actually wrapped around the building to the back of the building to like the loading dock area. And every single person that was in those lines seems to have gotten so I went to, because like I said, the restaurant that I went to is connected to the mall. I went to the mall because there's a GameStop just inside the door there, and I just wanted to see, like, I know they're not going to do a midnight launch because it's in the mall, and that would be really hard to like figure logistically to figure that out. But they did have a sign on the door that said exactly how many this mall, and it was like 72 Mario Kart and like 80, or like, no, not 80, 60, 65, I forget the exact number, non Mario Kart one. So it's like, oh, this random GameStop inside the mall is getting hundreds of these. Like, this thing is, these numbers are going to be insane. And we were right.
It was
anyways
nuts.
what I was saying, so I got in at 8:45, and it took pretty much exactly an hour for me to get to the front of the line to get my Switch 2. So
you got it. You guys were actually at 9 o'clock, right? Is when you're
9 o'clock our time. Yeah. 9:01.
9:01. Yeah, we were just kind of we got there early, and the reason we got there early was just to hang with people and talk to folks and just enjoy. Like, I love midnight launches for that standpoint. It's like you just talk to people, you know, a little bragging about knowing some things ahead of time, and it was kind of cool. But it was great, and like I said, bumped into a bunch of folks from our Discord and our circles, which was awesome. Like, it was just really cool from that standpoint. The line for the not pre-ordered was massive. Yeah, the cops did show up, and I think they were in awe that there were that many people in line. I think these poor cops, they were getting rained on because it was raining. It was great, but yeah,
and
so we show up.
It's raining, and they're only letting 4 people in at a time.
And so that was it. Like, it was raining when it finally hit midnight. They let 4 people in at a time. But guess what? It wasn't 4 people from the pre-order line. It was 2 from the pre-order line, 2 from the not pre-ordered, 2 from the pre-order, 2 from the not pre-ordered. And I'm like, oh, that's a little bit of a bummer. I would have loved to have all of us who pre-ordered just get in there and get out of there. That way, I mean, you just hand it to us. But yeah, they were they were it was pretty smooth. I know it, like, I think I actually got mine when they opened the door at 12. I got mine, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Exaggeramus and Zero. I think I walked out of there at, like, when it was my turn, like 12:18. So it was 12:20 at most. It was pretty quick. I was probably 8th or 10th down the line, something like that. So it took folks like 4 or 5 minutes at a time to get in there and pick up what they want and then go through the product, because they were trying to sell us. I don't know, probably sold you. They're trying to, if you open up a card, you'll save like $100 on this. I'm like, I do not want to open up any more cards. Just give me my damn system. I almost bought a freaking amiibo, but I did not.
Give me the what amiibo would you have gotten?
Oh, I would have got Yunobo, because I think he's just a lovely dude from Zelda. And then I would have got who is the, I think it was one of the girls from Street Fighter. But the $39.99 price, I'm like, ain't gonna.
Yeah, it's like I it's funny because Jeff Gertzman had the same idea. It's like, it would be really funny to own a Luke amiibo. Nobody likes Luke.
Yeah, yep, it's true. But yeah, and so it was cool. I mean, it was smooth sailing. But I will say it was funny because the line of not pre-ordered was easily like 150 plus.
Yeah,
it was massive. And I legit, going into this, just knowing from like the original Switch, which sold 350,000 in the first 4 days, I was thinking each store was going to get maybe 20 to 25 of one and like 15 to 20 of the other, just knowing, dude, Nintendo knew what they were doing. Man.
I have never seen anything like this.
Never saw anything like it.
It's insane because, like, I was sitting there and I was like, because this is sort of like the pre-order situation was completely different this time around.
Yeah. Yes.
It really was like, even like I remember the Wii U, it was really more of like you had to go into the store and get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Switch was sort of an unknown at the time. Like it was popular because conceptually it was cool and people wanted the Zelda, but
Yeah.
Nintendo was on its hard times at that point anyways. But no PlayStation. Like the biggest launch I remember prior to that was the Wii.
Yeah,
Like,
same. I remember
and
the
that was
Wii
that
launch.
was a the Wii and the PS2 launches were massive, and they were nowhere near this scale. And
yeah,
it's different because I was like, I just don't know how many people are going to be there, because it's not like back in the day. It's the store got like, here's how many we have to reserve, and this is so get in line and do it. This one was just like you did it through the website, and you just did in-store pickup. So it's just like, it could be 10 people, it could be 150 people. I don't know how many people chose this store that they're going to be shipping them to. So like, to see that many people in line and end up walking away with the system was absolutely insane. I've never seen
it. Was I'm just looking at some quick wikis right now. Like the PS4 sold 2.1 million in 15 days.
Yeah.
The PlayStation 2 sold 1 million in 10 days, something like that, somewhere around there. Well, let me just say, let's see, in North America, so probably around similar number to 2.1 million in like the first 10 days. 3.5 million, like, oh, that's just absolutely bonkers. It is bonkers.
This is like movie opening kind of stuff that we've got going on.
Yep.
If movies come, because think about 3.5 million units at $500.
God.
Like even if you 455 and 500, we'll just go with 500 as
it's just it's insanity. Like, it was awesome to see, because I looked at the so again, they had at least 150 people in line, and people were still showing up. Like, I stopped counting right at one point. I'm like, forget it, because when I got there were like 80 to 90 folks there, and that line got like double the length. So I go inside and I'm like, you guys are pretty busy. I'm like, how many? Are you guys to send anybody home? I'm like, how many guys have? How many of these things do you have? He said, oh no. He's like, we got stacked, because they were handing up papers to the folks who were pre-ordering, and everybody else who was already pre-ordered, just come in with your ID. And the guy's like, oh no, we got more tickets than there are people out there. We're gonna be fine. So if you wanted a Switch that night, you could have gone. That next morning, you could. There you go. See, 3.5 million times 500 is 1.7 billion. 1.7 billion Marios in one, gold coins. But you could have gone in that day and maybe even the weekend.
I know a coworker went to Target like 2 days ago and got one. Like it was, they're still, you can still find them on shelves right now.
No,
and
for sure.
They still sold 3.5 million and will continue selling them as people get the money to afford them.
And so I think what's going to happen is, again, a lot of fun. Had a great time. The midnight launch. Definitely do game companies. Just do midnight launches, do stuff like this, because it's a blast. It really is a good time. Like it,
they still do. Like I say, they still do this for comic books every once in a while.
Yeah,
like Batman Day will have like midnight launch of a big Batman event and stuff. That's a really fun time to go to a comic book store at midnight for a comic book.
I went. I used to go to Borders. Borders was a big one in our area before Barnes and Noble, and they did midnight launches for the Harry Potter stuff. And remember Harry Potter? I don't remember it. But they did midnight launches for Harry Potter, and it was the exact same way. For a book, it would be a midnight launch for a book, and I thought that was awesome. But comics, games.
Here's the stat that just popped up on my feed. The Switch 2 has reached 25.8% of the Wii U's lifetime sales.
That is amazing. That's fantastic.
I guess the question I have for you is, what did you get? What was your Switch 2 situation? What'd you buy?
So I got the Mario. I got the Mario Kart, of course. I got the Mario Kart. I got the Pro Controller. Here's my Switch 2. Love it. I got the Pro Controller. Let me hide this guy. The Pro Controller. Yeah, Zero says if we could have had beer waiting, that would have been perfect. He drove 2 hours to come hang out.
He's a
God
sweetheart.
bless him. He
I love
just
Zero.
a wonderful dude. Obviously, I am now the least most popular team SideQuesting person. It is everybody else. I'm just kidding. But I got Mario Kart World, and I've been playing that. Love it. I've been playing that while I can. Let me rephrase it. I've been playing things while I can because I went right into Summer Game Fest. I have not had a chance to put any hours in it. But baby, after I finish these, like I think starting this weekend, which Pool Quest, we're gonna have a bunch of folks coming in town from SideQuesting, friends and family. But I'm gonna dive into everything. So I got that. I got the welcome tour, which I'm letting you know, like, yeah, the welcome tour should have been free, but they've probably sold 1 million units of
I'm
welcome
going
tour,
to,
and that extra $10 is helping cover some of the tariff cost.
I'm just gonna go out and say right now that welcome tour is actually very, 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 very good. It's really fun.
Everybody I've talked to, I haven't touched it yet.
It's Epcot. It's Epcot. It's teaching. It's funny because it's teaching things about, like, hey, did you know that you can just put those on upside down on or backwards on the Switch and it'll recognize it that you're doing that? Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
it actually has a stat. It's showing you how the mouse works. It's like, the mouse sensor is a small, just a few pixel black and white camera.
Cool.
That's what the mouse sensor is. And it says the Game Boy camera has more pixels than the black and white camera.
That's awesome.
Like, it's super neat, man.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm glad I picked it up. We were joking. We were joking, and we were joking with and getting joked at, and then we're like, I'm gonna get it. Like,
I said immediately. I said, this is dumb, but I am absolutely
gonna get it. Exactly. I said I'll probably eventually get it. But I got it. And then I got Cyberpunk. So those, and then I got the Pro Controller. That again, I think I mentioned that Pro Controller is sick, dude.
Yeah,
that Pro Controller, it is. I'm not kidding, because I'm like, I didn't initially know what I felt about, like, what I thought about it until I went and kind of held the original Pro Controller next to it, and then I held an Xbox One controller, Series controller, and a PlayStation controller. This is the best control. This may be the best feeling, the best controller. Like, Nintendo knows what they're doing with controllers now. All like low key, they have whoever the designers were on this Pro Controller did an outstanding job.
You didn't realize how cheap the Switch felt until, like, some of these things that they put on. Have you played Cyberpunk before?
I had on PS5. Yeah, I had on PS5. So I just loaded it up onto the.
I'd say, hey, your save is going to work on this version.
Yeah, I went back and realized I had not. I'd never logged in to the CD Projekt Red thing, so I could go back and re-log in and bring a save over. I'm like, whatever. It's been like 3 years since I played it. I don't mind starting.
I kind of want to get Cyberpunk for the Switch too, just because it's one of the few games where the game is on the cartridge.
Yeah, yes, I think that's why I'm getting it, and I may end up getting Rune Factory for that reason, and never playing Rune Factory, but supporting. But yeah, so I got those, and that was it. I think that's all I ended up with.
I got the Mario Kart Switch too. I got the Pro Controller.
Okay.
I got a nice case, but I got like the Walmart hard shell case.
Okay. I had my case. I purchased my case in April, and it showed up in April. So I've had my case for like 2 months already.
And I got the Walmart.
The
ONN brand.
Okay.
Yeah. The
nice and cheap, dude. That's good.
Express card.
That was like $30 cheaper than what I paid for mine, so that's good.
And then I got Welcome Tour.
Mm-hmm.
I got Fast Fusion.
Oh, how is that?
Oh, it's so good. It's
okay. That's next on my list.
You will be kind of baffled at how good it looks.
Okay.
It is weird how it's like they've like, how do they have the best looking game on the Switch?
Yeah.
And I also got Street Fighter 6 and Hitman.
Cool.
World of Assassins.
Okay, cool.
I just got those digitally because both the games were key cards, and I'm like, I don't need that. So what's the point?
So I was gonna
get the digital versions. And Street Fighter 6, it's so good. It's such a good game, and it's like comes with the Fighter Pass 1 and 2, so you get all the current fighters, and it runs smooth. Runs no issues. I mean, it's not as fidelity wise, it's not as great as obviously the other versions, but you can see the tricks that they're doing to make it, but it runs smooth. I haven't had any problems with it. Same with Hitman. Hitman's great. I kind of wish they had cross progression on Hitman, since you have to like sign in
I
to a
get it.
network
Okay.
every time,
Okay.
and have like, because I have put a lot of time into Hitman and have unlocked a lot of stuff, and I
Sure.
kind of wish I didn't have to go through all of that again. To start at level 1,
Yeah.
work my way back up to like the level 98 that I'm at now in Hitman or whatever. But it's extremely good. It's a great port of Hitman. Hitman's a great game, and it runs well on the Switch too, and it's a great portable game at this stage. So yeah. And Mario Kart is like
so freaking. So here's a funny thing about just about it in general. So here, random data. Switch 1 total sales had 150 million last month. PS2 is around 155. I think the Switch 1 will outsell the PS2. I think it's just inevitable. We're at what, 3 million, 5 million, whatever away. I think it will hit that. I don't know if the Switch 2 will get to that level, but I can see the Switch 2 hitting 80, 90 million, depending on what happens in the game industry and everything else. But you mentioned Mario Kart. Mario Kart is so freaking good. I've only put like a couple hours into it. Again, Summer Game Fest. When I'm not at a showcase and I'm back at the hotel room, I'm writing. So I've only had a chance to like duck and dive here and there. But playing Mario Kart it's so good, to the point where, nice thing about Summer Game Fest, just like every expo, is you find the lobby bar that everybody hangs out at, right? JW at Summer Game Fest and E3, whatever. Weston at PAX, whatever at PAX West.
Sheridan.
Sheridan.
It used to be the Sheridan.
Okay. So more than enough people said, I'm going to call it a night, head back because I want to play Mario Kart in my room. More than enough people were saying that. I mean, the Giant Bomb guys were playing Mario. They were like cutting their streams to play Mario Kart because it was that good. It's so freaking good, dude.
Here's the thing that's crazy about Mario Kart is that they added like gameplay elements to Mario Kart, which is like something they've never really done before. Like Double Dash was the last time they added like some sort of like significant gameplay element that altered the way you played the game. This one has like you're like parrying at times in this game. Like the jumping actually means something. Like you're bouncing off of cars, doing kick flips and then wall jumps, and then like people are talking shit.
A little bit of parkour like built in, which is cool.
People are talking shit about the open world because it's mostly empty, and it is empty. But I don't think that mattered. I don't think that's what they were going for. They just created this weird little universe where it's like, hey, hop on in, go wherever you want. We're gonna pepper it with some of them are gonna be easy, some of them are gonna make you go like, how did anyone ever accomplish this? There's like whole sections where it's like, oh no, you're gonna have to wall jump perfectly to collect all of these coins and to get through this ring. Good luck.
It's just a nice little it's a nice little mode to have. It's very reminiscent of Smash Ultimate, because Smash Ultimate had that sort of single player, quote unquote single player mode that was essentially challenges. Like, we're going to have you face off against Kid Icarus, a giant version, a tiny version, and then but you have to be.
People were wanting Subspace Emissary from a Melee, but in Mario Kart. But like even the open world thing is not even on like the main menu. It's like it's a small option. It's like kind of
that was hard for me to find, because I spent the first like 10 minutes owning that game. I'm like, I want to play open world. I'm like, okay, where do I find it? Where is this? It's called free roam. Nintendo is calling it free roam. There is no free roam button. So I thought, okay, maybe I have to win, I have to go through a few races to unlock it. Nothing. I opened up, I beat all the, the 4 cups or 5 cups, whatever. I'm like, where is free roam? Like, why is this opening up? So I legitimately hopped online to look up for where free roam was, and like, oh no, you had to hit the map and then just select one of the characters. I'm like, oh, that's not necessarily intuitive.
Yeah, I think also on that menu, if you push like the minus button, it just takes you to right into it.
Yeah, it takes you in it, but you don't know that until you actually. So I wish that was a little bit better explained when
I just unlocked Vampire Waluigi. So
nice. I love the outfits are so great.
Or as they call it, Wampire. That's
Vampire. But no, Nintendo, It is.
Nintendo's firing on a
Yeah.
level I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I am.
And I've been just playing, like I'm just downloading random shit to see,
Yep.
like does it run better? Does Doom run any better? Does this run any better? It's
I'm playing the DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and
I've heard Xenoblade isn't that great right now.
No, so Xenoblade 2, they bumped up some of the stuff on Xenoblade 2,
Yeah.
right? They actually said we're
Yeah.
going to do this and this. They didn't do Xenoblade X yet, but
Yeah.
I fired up Xenoblade 3, and just there was no update for Xenoblade 3,
Yeah.
but just because it can read things faster off the hard drive, off the it just natively runs things, renders things a little bit better. It feels like a bigger game, especially having on a bigger screen is also really good. It feels better for sure.
Yeah, I forget. I was watching a video or something, and they were saying one of the Xenoblades, it may have been X or whatever. It's like it's not running that great because there was no update, and it uses that variable frame like visuals. So so when it's matching the frame rate right, but like it's trying to do the variable frame rate and visual stuff. It's giving that really bad Vaseline effect. On it might have been X.
It might have been X, or maybe it's either X or the first one, because three looks really good. But yeah. So and I popped in like other games here and there, just to whatever I had downloaded. I'm like, I'm just curious.
I've been jonesing to replay Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, now I'm gonna. Yeah,
I downloaded it. I downloaded the patch. I started up a new save, and it's like you hook that bad boy up to your 4K TV set. You get that HDR adjusted correctly.
I never played the Champions DLC. I downloaded it. I bought it, and I played a little bit, like maybe an hour, and that was it. So that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna hop in and play that next because that's cool. I mean, Switch 2 is great. We're gonna be talking about this for a while for sure.
And we're very close to Donkey Kong. Like
yeah, I know already we're close. And again, I think that kind of leads into this next point. Like there was no announcement of a direct. Like it was actually really funny because or interesting because even at Summer Game Fest all weekend, I should say in LA for Game Fest and IGN Live, everybody, journalists, industry folks were convinced there was going to be something on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. They're like, we're gonna have a Nintendo thing Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm like, if Nintendo didn't announce it yet, they weren't going to. Yeah. Like, they're not doing it on Tuesday because we would have known, like, we would have known Monday. It's really early on Tuesday to do it after all the news. I'm like, Wednesday. I said it would only happen on Wednesday if we found out Tuesday, and then they dropped the Splatoon news.
They just farted out the Splatoon news,
which is huge for Japan. That's a big It's like their biggest property in Japan, essentially, right? Their biggest
it's got a manga.
So it's got concerts that they do. Yeah. So they still need to do something to tell us: is there going to be one more game at the end of the year or something? Yeah. Or the reason I say it is because the stuff that's out. Donkey Kong looks great, Metroid looks great, Pokemon looks great. These are franchises, but it's not like we had a Breath of the Wild launch with the Switch, and people are going to compare everything to that Breath of the Wild launch, but that made the year bigger. And you had a brand new Zelda game and a brand new Mario game, and you had the best Mario Kart relaunch at the time too. So you had 3 giant games. Now, granted, Mario Kart World is gonna end up being the best Mario Kart. Donkey Kong looks like it's a lot of fun. I don't know how it plays yet. I haven't had a chance to touch it, but we don't know enough about Metroid because we've known about Metroid for so long. We've known about the Pokemon game for so long. So it's like we want to be surprised.
Donkey Kong's also an interesting sell too, because like Donkey Kong has like those years are way behind it at this point. There hasn't been a significant Donkey Kong race. It's like, those Donkey Kong Country Returns games were great, but like Donkey Kong Country was sort of like when Donkey Kong just sort of peaked. And never really like despite Donkey Kong being important to Nintendo's history, they don't really treat Donkey Kong with a lot of respect. So.
They do not. So it's going to be real interesting. Do I think they're going to have something? If they do, I don't think it'll be this week. I think it probably be maybe the third week of the month, which would be not. I guess maybe week after next.
I don't have a lot of confidence that there's anything this month.
Yeah, again, I'm the same way. I'm like, I don't think so. Like people were buzzing, like it's gotta have something. I will say this: there were only like 10 or 11, like a handful of Switch 2 compatible games that were announced, or games announced for Switch 2 during the.
Those are
not a great launch, but it happened. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, not a great launch from a game content standpoint.
Yeah.
Great launch from a freaking number sold standpoint, but you want people to have momentum, because I know people, like even folks that are on SideQuesting and in our Discord are saying, I'm going to hold off until there's something that I want, right? And the Switch, Nintendo did it with the Switch. Granted, they had like 4 years of Wii U stinking it up, so they didn't have to worry about making games for the Wii U, but
Nintendo was also able to cash in on when people realize it's like, oh, there's like all of these really weird small games that I can just play in my bed and not have to drag my fat ass over to the computer to play Undertale or something,
and like, so I think what'll happen is Nintendo needs something, is what I'm saying, to get some momentum, so that it will keep people buying it, because Mario Kart World, great, you're going to have people buying that. I don't think you're buying the system for Donkey Kong.
No.
I think maybe there are a couple folks who are interested in Metroid, but not enough. And then same with this not mainline Pokemon game. By the way, Kirby Air Riders is not listed in the eShop for 2025. As I predicted, it's probably going to get pushed to 2026. And that Zelda game, the Warriors game, that's also no longer listed in the eShop for 2025. So we'll see if those both get pushed out of the year and they put something else in. But I think you need to have momentum so that folks who are, folks who want to buy, you're trying to get people to buy the Switch. You have to drip feed them. Again, even if it's saying this game is coming next year, the next big Mario, like just show something, then people will be like, okay, I might as well start getting loaded up on the Switch too in anticipation of this next big Mario game, or,
look, we are very close to teasing the existence of the next Zelda. It has been, because Breath of the Wild, they teased long before, I remember Breath of the Wild was like, they showed the thing where it's like, see that mountain over there, you can climb it. That was like 4 years before that game came out. So we're getting there with Zelda too. And if you just once you let people know that Zelda is a real thing to anticipate, it's
been 2 years. It's been over 2 years since Tears of the Kingdom, which, by the way, launched 6 years after Breath of the Wild. So, and we found out about the sequel to Tears of the Kingdom in 2018? They first showed it.
Yeah, it was like 2 years after.
In 2019. Yeah. So, we're at 2 years right now. I would reckon, maybe next year we hear some.
They always show off Zelda games a little too early.
They do. That's the trend. That's the only one. It's the only one in the franchise they show off a little too early. But we know.
I don't know. You remember Ocarina of Time? They showed off when it was a completely different game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Again, it seems like Zelda is. That's the one. But we know that they've already. They're stacking up teams to work on stuff. They're
showing off Wind Waker when it was still a realistic looking.
Yep. So it'll be they're stacking up teams, development side to work on whatever they're working on. The Monolith Soft is working on stuff. Nintendo is working on stuff. You have folks all across Nintendo. They're building up. So I'm going to be super curious to see what comes out of it. I hope there's you want that momentum to keep going. Drag and Drive is not a momentum builder.
Yeah.
So I mean, using momentum in the game.
In a literal the Wii U launch titles was really bad. I remember what did I get at launch? I got Mario, that weird the new Super Mario Brothers game that they put out, and Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
I got the Mario game, and I got what was the Zombie U?
Zombie U. Arkham
Yeah.
City Re-Armored Edition.
Oh, that's right. That was out. I think I did play it on the Wii U because I wanted to use the gamepad for stuff. But yeah. One thing I will say is, I mean, with the game share thing where you can have up to at least 4 people play a game together. Man, Nintendo Land has got to be happening now. Like, you can make a Nintendo Land work with the game share because you're all playing the same game together off the one screen. So you can have one person do one thing, and there's motion control and all the other ones. So yeah, let's get it working, Nintendo. Yeah, there you go. New Advance Wars. A brand new Advance Wars, not the remakes that they had, actual brand new Advance Wars. But you know what? Dropping an Animal Crossing tease. It's been 5 years since the last Animal Crossing.
Yeah, remember
one of the biggest.
It was the COVID game. That was.
But it's one of the biggest one of the biggest times between Animal Crossing games. Yeah. And same thing with Smash Brothers. I think we are maybe the longest stretch between Smash Brothers games officially now. Yeah. So yeah, Nintendo Land 2, I would love it. But I think we are going to start getting teases for some of these things. Again, just show me some stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised. The way Nintendo operates, I wouldn't be surprised if the new Animal Crossing is kind of like just pretty much there.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree.
That bad boy is probably not ready yet, but
yeah,
pretty much it's a step away from going gold.
Yep. Yep. I mean, they have a lot of stuff. You have Tomodachi Life coming next year, which is going to be big. And you had that. What was the other game? They announced 2 games that were coming next year for the Switch. Yeah. Which will be Switch 2 games as well. I totally forget what the other one was.
Rhythm Heaven.
Was it Rhythm? Yeah, Rhythm Heaven. So you got both those. They're going to do great. And so
I'm very excited. Like, I feel like they're going to drip feed us Switch 2 game updates.
Yeah, through the Nintendo Today app.
Or what I mean, like Switch 1 updates for the Switch 2. Like their virtual console things. Like and in next week we'll be dropping a patch for Advance Wars that brings it up to 30 frames.
There you go. Hey, do it. I'm okay with it. It'll get people to replay or buy those games. But
I'd love to see some games on there. It's like throw a patch at Doom. Why not? Who cares?
I'm gonna patch myself into bed.
Yeah, I gotta patch myself into the bathroom.
Yeah, there you go. You've been holding it. I can tell. Yeah. Thank you, JJ, for hanging out. Thank you to all our viewers and listeners. We had a ton of folks hopping in and out. This is a good chunky show. We're gonna have much more Summer Game Fest stuff. There's some things I won't have it written for tomorrow, but just be ready. I have there are some awesome games that let's just say I commit to some. So I Capcom it to some ideas that are coming up. There's some stuff I can talk about tomorrow, but we're probably gonna do another episode potentially later this week, because maybe Thursday or something.
We'll catch up on some reviews too.
Yeah, some reviews and some other previews and things like that. So it'll be good times. With that said, SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV on the YouTube and the Twitch. Hop in the Discord. Actually, SideQuesting TV for Patreon if you want. No big deal. Thank you to everybody. Feel free to
might get you a T-shirt. Might get you a
T-shirt if you're up to that executive level. You know what shirt? This shirt. Let me just say one thing. I ordered this shirt. I was all excited. It came in like a week and a half before I was going to, or a week before I was going to Summer Game Fest. I'm like, perfect. I got it. It's great. The Amazon screwed up my order because I selected 2 large sizes and it gave me 2 small sizes. So I'm like, oh man, and because they're custom.
Yeah, there's no return in that bad boy.
There's no returning it. But I worked with the shirt maker, super, they were really good. Really nice material, by the way. Really comfortable shirt. I talked to the company. I'm like, hey, here's the thing. I think Amazon screwed up. There's supposed to be 2 large shirts, or a large and an extra large. I'm not sure. They sent me the large ones, and it got in the day before I flew out to LA for all the game stuff. So that was cool. So yeah, I'll have this up on the site probably within the week. It'll be good as we start getting some of that stuff in there. So we'll see ya. Next episode, SideQuest, SideQuesting.com. Love you guys. Bye-bye. See ya.